How's everybody doing? Hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Jeff, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Andrew. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Okay.
That's the podcast intro.
Uh-huh.
But this isn't a podcast. This is a app video. If you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on the app, thank you so much for following along with our work. Let's talk about this idea of cloning super investors. This is a two-part question.
All right.
First, what is your opinion on cloning super investors? And second, what's your opinion on cloning microcap investors?
So I don't really like cloning super investors and stuff for the most part because I feel it's got the same problem that people following insiders has. I think people get very attracted to doing it, to following along with them, and then don't stick with it. So they're very quick to bail out on it or something. Mm-hmm. So I worry about it because I don't feel it's a high conviction sort of thing. And I just feel there's a lot of things where people can manage to lose money in a stock that they followed someone else into. I know that personally with me. There's definitely been people who followed me into a stock or something and haven't done as well as I may have done in it or something. Now, of course, if I picked very poorly and stuff and then it never did well, then maybe they would, get out of it faster. But in some cases where I eventually made money on a stock, they may not have and things like that. And so I think it's a conviction issue that you often have a lot more conviction idea you came up with yourself. And so I see that to be a big problem. And then in terms of the microcap thing, that is interesting. And I'd be more interested in that, in like trying to follow people who are specifically focused on having maybe a smaller portfolio, more ability to buy into those sorts of things and stuff like that. I found for me it is good for turning up ideas generally in like an industry. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, if someone's interested in this industry, there must be something changing here that I didn't know about or expect or whatever. So like as an idea generator to look into something, why did they do this? Mm-hmm. For some investors, I found that to be useful, yeah. But not specific stocks, really.
I agree, though, because people could steal your stock ideas, but they can't steal your conviction. So it's like, great. Now, I'm kind of curious, why do you think you have a different style of investing in the microcap space maybe than other microcap investors do?
Yeah, than a lot of microcap investors do, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true.
If you had to describe your style in the microcap space, how would you describe it?
I don't know. I mean, like on a factor basis or something, I guess they would say higher quality is probably it. I don't know that that's necessarily how I think about it, but yeah.
Got it. So this idea, though, of like cloning super investors, Monish Pabrai talks a lot about it, and I think he got it from Munger.
Yes. Because
Munger has always talked about that. I mean, do you think Munger was actually talking about it from like the point of view of just sifting through 13Fs to see what they're looking at? Or do you think he actually meant like steal their ideas?
I think he meant steal their ideas. Yeah. I think he meant steal their ideas. Buffett, certainly in the Buffett partnership, followed people into ideas all the time. There were certain investors that he followed all the time. And you could certainly do that with activists and things like that, buy less than 5% of the company. And there's an activist in it who owns quite a bit more than 5% of the company. And in that way, you don't have to be public and stuff, but you're basically following on the coattails of other investors. And certainly some people do that. And I could see that happening. And I know that Buffett did that in the partnership years.
Are there any investors, whenever they sort of make noise, your ears perk?
No.
Thank you so much for being a subscriber to the app, watching us on YouTube. So if you are going to steal people's ideas, maybe use it as a idea generator, but actually trying to gain conviction, and don't ever buy into a company unless you have that conviction. Do you think that's the takeaway?
Yeah.
That's the takeaway. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next video.